Hey everybody, Spencer here for a very different video than the last time I was showing my face. So as you guys may know, about probably almost 2 weeks ago now, I got my limited run games blind box order. So I had ordered 20 of these in hopes of finding Super Meat Boy and Papers, Please to finish out my limited run games Vita collection. I failed spectacularly. You all enjoyed watching me slowly die on the inside, and I even got cut on my finger just to really let everyone know how big of a doof I am for messing up and blowing half a grand. So, by some miracle, I've actually been able to find every one of those games a good home. Thankfully, if you guys were one of the ones who bought a copy off of me, I appreciate it so much. It really helped. But that is not the point of this video. I did not just want to say thank you. As you can probably tell by the video title, I made a miracle happen, and I was able to find 2 souls, actually more than 2. I had a couple of friends who said if they happened to find a copy of Super Meat Boy or Papers, Please, that they would be open to helping me out. And I was able to do that. So 2 days ago, I'm recording this on Wednesday. On Monday, I got Super Meat Boy. And today, ta-da, Papers, Please, in the flesh. This is number 82 in the Vita collection for all of those who care. And total run number 224. We don't actually have like a run size. So I wanted to open this up because this is a momentous occasion for me. This means after this is done, as I realize I have no fingernails right now, after this is done, I have all 101 PlayStation Vita games by Limited Run Games, and I could not be more excited. And to my knowledge, I am the first person who has both. I've seen probably 10 people or so at this point now who have either a Papers, Please or a Super Meat Boy, but I haven't seen anyone who has both. So, here it is. I still cannot tell you how ridiculously surreal this is holding this. I'm just kind of sinking this in. I've actually been a huge fan of this game for a long time from the PC release, and they've been holding off for the Vita port, which got delayed forever and ever, and then had a very strong hunch that Limited Run was doing a print of it. Just had no idea it was going to be stuck in limbo. As you guys know, Super Meat Boy is going to be the next game Limited Run does. That's not going to be sold until Forever is out, and then this is going to sell after Forever is done. So it's going to be quite a while till these go on regular sale. So unless you are very crazy, determined, or impatient like me, it's going to be a little bit, but I did want to open this up and show everyone what it is like. Alright, I had already been spoiled because I had a friend out there on Vita Island, Dusty, had shown me this manual. Check this bad boy out. This is your actual rules and regulations for the game in print form. This is so cool. So all of these rules are in the game. You just like now can actually pull it up as opposed to having to do it in the game. That is so cool. Here, let me do a little flip through for you guys. You can just stop watching me goof off. So you have a map, some rules, more rules. This game does not have a lot of color, so visually not the most impressive manual, but still really cool nonetheless. I think Dusty told me this has about almost like 50 pages. It's not like Cosmic Star Heroine big, but it is very big. And just to be really extra, we are going all the way. Here's the cart. Actually, it's interesting. It doesn't have any text on it. Let's see if it'll focus. Boop. All right, you kind of get the idea. All right, now comes the time. We are going to put this in my Vita because I actually play my limited run games and all my Vita physical games. All right, we are putting the card in. Say hello to House and Fata Morgana. The cart is going in. Installing. I have no idea if there were any patches for Papers, Please, so I guess we will find out now if we need any. I love how it just pops up with Naoto. She's like, boom, look at that. Okay. Congratulations, the October Labor Lottery is completed. Your name was pulled. Oh, wow, this must be a unique build. You can always tell if Mighty Rabbit is in the bottom corner. Let's see if I can get it to focus. It's probably not going to want to, but you can see a little bunny head there. So this bad boy should be all up-to-date patch-wise. Yes, it is. There's not a single patch. So we are going to take it into its rightful place. I have all my Vita games sorted alphabetically with the exception... Oh my god, that is so satisfying to see popped in there. So I have all my Vita games alphabetically with the exception of limited run games. Every one of these is a bubble of 10 games. Starting with Breach and Clear. This is very easy to do backwards. All the way up until Meta Slug 3, because that's number 101. So we have a full page of over 100 games from limited run games physically installed on my Vita. And we finished things up with Super Meat Boy and Papers, Please. Again, apologies for how low-fi this video is going to be. This is definitely more of just a, hey, let's go through this journey together. You guys watched me basically almost have tears, so might as well have the happy ending to this story. But this isn't the ending, actually, as you can probably tell by the runtime. I figured, hey, as you might know, all my Vita games for limited run are normally right there and there. They're not there right now. They are right here next to me, and I want to go through every PlayStation Vita game that Limited Run Games has published physically. Go through, say, hey, check this out, check this out. I'm not going to go on a huge tangent, I hope. We have 101 games to go through. But I wanted to just kind of show it off because, to my knowledge, there's not a video out there like this. And if you guys learn one thing about one game, awesome. If not, you can turn off the video and make fun of me for the rest of my life. Doesn't matter. First up, Breach and Clear. Not actually the first game I got. That was Saturday Morning RPG. I got this game secondhand off eBay back in the days where I thought, oh my god, I had to pay 60 bucks for this. So still really early on, but kind of funny now when you see how much it goes for. But yeah, so all frills, no kills. We're not opening up every game, but the special ones I will, either to mock or mention things. I will never not be salty about this. I've talked to Josh and many a times have been shown... I understand the reasons he can't do a slipcover or reprint the cover, but oh my god. I want Breach and Clear to have a corrected spine so that they all are numbered, but that is okay. There are worse things in the world. Next up, we have Saturday Morning RPG, my actual first limited run Vita game. Followed up by the fantastic, new and tasty Oddworld. This one is actually what got me into limited run when I found out that they were doing a physical of the Vita version. And this really is what kicked off my collecting bug. And thousands of dollars later, I'm sure, a very, very different man. But I'm so glad that this is what kicked me off for not only my collecting, but just getting me more into the PlayStation Vita. Next up, we have Futuridium. And next, we have Xeodrifter, the first limited run game to actually feature a proper manual. And a awesome, awesome little indie Metroidvania by what was Renegade Kid, but I just know as, I think they're a TUI. I might be wrong, but I just know Jules is the developer's name. And Jules, if you somehow find this, you have an amazing game, and I love, love, love all of your titles. Next up, we have Octodad. Dadliest Catch. Really, really fun game. Also went on sale on a Sunday. It was one of the odd games that went on sale on Father's Day. Our first East Asia Soft game, Soldner X2. Another one that featured a manual, a tradition still to this day for all East Asia Soft games, even if you buy them over at PlayAsia. Rainbow Moon with two little funny things of note. People always say this is a really lazy cover. It's supposed to be evocative of old Final Fantasies, and something people don't actually know is this one had an uneven amount of pages, so its back cover is literally just the last page. But if you bought the Play Asia version of Rainbow Moon, that actually does have an updated manual. For all 5 of you out there who opened it and were like, oh, I wish the manual was fixed. Next up, we have the highly underrated RPG series, Dragon Fantasy. What's the actual name? The Black Tome of Ice. I always remember it as Dragon Fantasy Book 1 and Book 2. This is actually an interesting note. A couple of these games have like exclusive platinums or exclusive versions. This is just one of those rare cases of this is a port of the game that is only available physically. There's a few minor changes from the digital version. They share the same trophy list, but there are actual little improvements and whatnot in the game. Our first big title, this was One Way Heroics. What's the actual title? Mystery Chronicles, I forgot. This one's brought to you by Spike Chunsoft. Remember, that was a huge deal. I think it was like 5,000 copies, which was really, really big at the time. Thomas Was Alone by the awesome Bithell Games, and the hilariously blank back cover. Stealth Inc., A Clone in the Dark Ultimate Edition. And these are all in, not release order, but in number order. So like the spine, whatever number that goes. Next up, Volume, one of the very rare games to have a foil cover. And actually, we have a trio for our next one. We have Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD, a personal favorite of mine. Here is cover A. It is reversible. Here's the reverse cover. I have 3 copies because I got the PlayStation Experience cover, which is going to be super reflecty and hard to see, but I have it in my little dumb protector case. But yeah, this is probably one of my favorite covers, just because how much this game means to me, and just, I really, really appreciated, like, this is what really got me into Oddworld, especially on the Vita. I was covering that at the time, so having all of the versions of the Oddworld games just really mean a lot to me personally. Next up, we have some more Curved Digital games. The awesome horror game, Lone Survivor. Our sadly only tribute game for Vita by Limited Run, Curses and Chaos. Fun little beat 'em up. Awesome game by Tiki Pod. I'm going to just praise all these games. I don't hate any of them. Aqua Kitty DX. The Swapper, a highly underrated little game on the Vita, which looks absolutely gorgeous. Okay, let's speed it up, boys. The Swindle, another curved title. Oh my god, I want to say the full title just because I'm really extra. Bit Trip presents Runner 2 Legends. Oh, here we go. Future Legend of Rhythm Alien. This is the regular cover, and here is the PAX Convention exclusive cover. Also, yeah, I don't just have every limited run game, I have every physical cover available. I don't have doubles if they're reversible. I'm fine swapping a cover. Nova 111. A very special game to me that I was thankfully able to have even a tiny hand in helping bring to the West. Ray Gigant. Really, really special game and super underrated in my opinion. Mutant Muds Deluxe. Followed by, wait for it, Mutant Muds Super Challenge. We're making progress. We're almost to the halfway point. No, not really. We still got a ways to go. Risk of Rain. Broken Age, featuring an exclusive Platinum Trophy. The awesome Demo. Bard's Gold features a hilarious PS4 cover. If you guys ever want to look at the retail cover or the limited run cover, both PS4 versions just got really weird covers. Darius Burst on the Vita, a funny one because, little known fact, the reason the PS4 version and the Vita version were sold separately is when Limited Run signed the deal for the PS4 version, they didn't actually ask for the Vita one until later. That was a fun day. Alright, our next little stack before we get to ESRB land. Oceanhorn, a awesome Zelda-like. Whoop, this is going to be a big pile on my bed. Plague Road, very not controversial game. Followed by the first Kickstarter exclusive cover. I think actually, yeah, this is the only Kickstarter exclusive limited run cover for Vita games. But Luke Bernard, Very awesome artist, and I personally really like his games. Our first of many Kimco titles, As Divine Hearts. E's Origin, still sealed. There are 2 covers. I have the Asian version is the one I use because the patch is on the cart there, and there's a really beefy patch for this. Next up, another Luke Bernard special. We have Mecho Tales and Mecho Tales Developer Edition. This one had a weird one of it was a different cover, and you got a slipcase, and the only real difference was I think it was like $15 or maybe $10 or $15 more. It was literally just like a, hey, here's a different cover. This is just going directly to fund the developer. Not a super popular move. I liked it at the time. I mean, they were honest. It was like, hey, this is just to support the developer, so I was cool with that. Next up, we have Windjammers, featuring an awesome manual. Windjammers Collector's Edition. This was the first in a line of Collector's Editions having exclusive covers. That did not last very long. People were not a fan of that. So, here's that. La Mulana. Awesome game. Just finally came out on Switch and PS4. SteamWorld Dig. SteamWorld Heist. Heist actually has all the DLC, and both of these games have reversible covers. Alright, we're actually making a good stack now. Another Tiki Pod Classic, Rock Boshers DX. Skullgirls, a interesting game for many reasons, just can't really get into that, but hey, has an amazing manual, which I will not show, but each cover and copy is individually numbered because these were pre-orders. I got copy number 3,962. Claire Extended Cut, another really cool horror game on Vita. Fallen Legion. Recently, this version was got a physical release through limited run on the PS4. Fun fact, this game has a manual. The manual shipped separately, like outside of the sealed container. Sony just didn't include the manual when they printed the game. So there is a manual for this game. There are just no manuals sealed in the game, at least originally. Revenant Saga, our second Kimco game. The Bit Trip, followed by the very trippy Bit Trip PAX exclusive cover. This one was very long in the tooth. I remember it was announced in an email with Bit Trip, and then just months later happened. That was a weird time of convention cover confusion, because I know convention covers aren't really the most popular. Skyforce Anniversary, a amazing shmup for the Vita. Really lost my time to that one. Next up, we have a game I'm totally going to butcher. Chrysler Sigma. Here you go. Cool little title by the team at Playism Publishing. And our final Oddworld game, we have Munch's Odyssey. That is the first cover. The reversible cover is this with some Vickers hanging out by the water cooler. And our PAX exclusive cover, which God knows this is going to look terrible, but hey, I like this cover. Surprisingly, I don't know if it's because of how many copies were made, but Munch is easily the cheapest out of all the Vita games to get compared to New and Tasty, which is a lot lower print run, and Stranger's Wrath, which I think just kind of suffers from it was such an early title, and I think Stranger's Wrath is just more popular than Munch. Factotum 90 by the awesome Poppy Works, we'll see later down the line. This one also has a reversible cover. Next up, oh my god, we're actually almost done, because I think now we're at, yep, the 50 mark after these two. Nurse Love Addiction, right? Yep, Addiction. There's another Nurse Love game coming up. Our first pure and proper visual novel from Limited Run Games. Oregon Trail Complete Edition, fun game. Home, a amazing little adventure game by, I'm totally forgetting his name, I'm so sorry, Benjamin River. He is a super cool dev. I highly recommend following him on Twitter. We have our first Serialum title. Next up, this one I am going to have to open up, let's be real. Cosmic Star Heroine. I am on the verge of sneezing, so I don't know when this is going to happen. Cosmic Star Heroine holds the record for being the only PlayStation Vita game that shipped in a perfect binded manual. I have never seen this happen again. It is absolutely amazing. The team at Zeboyd are just fantastic. This game had an awesome release, awesome physical, awesome manual, awesome collector's edition. Could not praise it enough. Cosmic Star Heroine is just amazing wherever you can play it. Antiquia Lost, our third Kemco game. Super Hydora, another cool shmup by the guys at Abbey Light Studios, who also did Cursed Castilla. A game I am very biased towards, thanks to our good friends at PM Studios. This is Musinx. This is another reversible cover. Oh my god. I'm trying to make sure everything doesn't fall over. Okay, this one I actually want to remember the dev's name so I don't feel like a total dummy. This is by Cowcat Games. This is Project Xenon Valkyrie Plus, a really cool little like Metroidvania. His other two Vita games he did, Demetrios and Riddled Corpses EX. I'm sorry if I ruined the name. That got a physical through Red Art Games, so his trilogy will be forever remembered. We have Exile's End. This was a important release because it helped us get more games by Xseed, or at least another game on Xseed you'll see in a minute. The very, very popular Valhalla, another reversible cover game. That one was, my god, I feel like that was one of those games you like heard was coming physically for the Vita forever. Next up, a game that almost didn't actually happen, but I am so glad did. This is 2064 Read-Only Memories. The digital version almost didn't happen, came out of nowhere. The physical version almost didn't happen, came out of nowhere. This is personally my favorite version of the game to play. Really, really love it, and have an amazing, amazing collector's edition. Senran Kagura Bon Appetit Full Course. This is a really special release. This is the only version of this game physically in English, as well as with all the DLC baked in. So really cool manual, really great release, cool new cover. Another Japanese title, we have Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds. This is technically its second physical release, but this is its first one being physical on a cart. There was just a empty box version like that was sold with its original release in Japan. Very weird. Jesus, another game that took years to come out physically, Salt and Sanctuary. This one was stuck in like, hey, the digital version's out, but we need to get a bunch of patches on the cart. Hell, that was a weird time for Vita games. It was like, okay, what version are you going to get on the cart? Whereas then later down the line, it was just get everything out. Next up, we have Hue. Really, really awesome cover done by Shaddy, who's one of the artists over at Limited Run Games. Neuro Voider Limited Edition. Super, super cool game, and literally the only reason this Vita port happened is so that they could do a physical and make more money that way. And I am glad they did it, because Neuro Voider, I picked up the PS4 physical version a couple years before, and was blown away by how fun and amazing that is. Bastion by Supergiant Games has an awesome, awesome manual, and it's just a really cool game. Gunhouse, kind of like a puzzle meets tower defense sort of game. Very interesting Flash art style. Very new, very Flash era Newgrounds style. We have Another World, which holds the honor for being just an overall amazing classic game, and just the worst spine. There is no good angle to look at the spine where you could read it. It's very weird. In all seriousness, though, we have Defender's Quest. So it also has a reversible cover. Whoop. We are so close to the end, guys. Thank you for your patience. Oh, I almost flubbed it. Alrighty. Next up, we have Dragon Sinker, another Kemco game. This one is more 8-bit in its art style. Whoa, all my games are getting away from me. There we go. Okay, as everything is like trying to fall apart, let's make sure that doesn't happen. Cool, everything is staying still and not going to fall over. It did it, damn it. We have Serialum 2, the follow-up to the titular Serialum. The definitely not controversial and did not get me in trouble for asking where the patch is. Night Trap on Vita holds the honor for being the only full motion video game on the PlayStation Vita. We have Rabby Ribby, brought to us by Sekai Games, who definitely did not tease a million games coming to the system and only ever delivered one physically. And the very controversial Rabby Ribby PAX cover. It got a print run of 500 copies. That sold out very fast. We have Race the Sun, King of Fighters 97 global match. Sadly, one of 2 SNK games on Vita physically. Iconoclast by the awesome Konjac. Boy, I just have a stack of... I have like an actual island of Vita games behind me. Also, shout out. Great little manual in here. And reverse art. Could not be cooler. Next up, we have Ferns Gate. Another Kimco title. After that, we have Proteus. A very underrated and easy to kind of crap on game. It was very late in the release line for a limited run game, so a lot of people are like, hey, why are you wasting a bunch of cards on this? But Proteus, really cool game, and actually didn't ever get a port to like PS4, so this is a cool, easy way to play without busting out the PS3. Next up, I still can't believe we actually got this physically. We have Spelunky. Mutant Blob Attacks, part of the Drinkbox Games trilogy. Severed is over by... got a physical thanks to East Asia Soft, but you will see the other game down the line. Next up, cannot believe it took us 25 minutes to get here, Super Meat Boy, featuring, because I have to show this off, because I actually don't think there's any unboxing for Super Meat Boy out there. A awesome manual, a depressing shot of the 2-man dev team, who have now broken up, so I just have a picture of my parents who are divorced in my game for the rest of my life. But hey, shoutouts to everyone left at Team Meat now, and Edmund McMillan working on his own thing. And oh my god, look at this reverse cover! No one has shown you this cover, world! What is going on? This is a real cover for a video game! I cannot believe that. The Switch version doesn't even have that cover. I have to show that up. That when I opened that up, that like melted my brain in terms of like, that was the reverse cover choice. I am so happy, but boy, that is so weird. Next up, making sure I'm still going in the right order. Guacamelee. Sad to say, the DLC does not work. If you have bought it, it won't work on here, and if you do buy it, don't, because it doesn't work on the physical version. But hey, we have a physical version of the game. Which was actually how I first played it, because I'd owned a physical PS4 and Switch copy forever and ever, wanted to play it on Vita. Finally worked out, great game, love Drinkbox. Pix the Cat, cannot recommend an awesome enough arcade game. Holy moly, we're getting to the end, guys. I promise, we are getting to the end. We will be done by the 30-minute mark, or I am in trouble. We have Forma 8, brought to us by the Futuridium devs, Mixed Bag Games. Awesome little Metroidvania with a cool reverse cover. Deadbolt by the devs who did Risk of Rain, and a very different kind of game, sort of like a 2D Hotline Miami type. Another visual novel, London Detective Mysteria. Gonna just call out Xseed Games who worked on this English version. They just straight up, I asked them, hey, will you guys ever do an English version of this? Like 2 months before it was sold, and they were like, no, we're never doing this English, like physically. Calling you out, guys. You lied to me. Damascus Gear, Operation Tokyo, Operation Osaka. Still can't believe these happened. Sadly, the DLC, much like Guacamelee, does not work, so buyer beware on that, but really you're playing it to play it. Well, you're playing it to have it available. Being very professional at the 26 or so minute mark to show that off. Awesome game, cannot recommend this enough. The House on Fata Morgana. How we finally got this to happen is a pure miracle. Every second I will promote this game. Holy crap. Please play this. An amazing visual novel. Still cannot believe we got this physically on PS4 and Vita of all things. Everything is on the cart, no patch. Cannot recommend it enough. Don't know anything going into it. Maybe check out like a trailer. Doesn't spoil anything, but holy crap. I could talk about that game for eons. Next up, our last visual novel, Nurse Love Syndrome. I have got to finish this up quickly. Oh my god. Next up, we have Dragon Fantasy 1, finally releasing after years and years and years and years. Chronos Arc, another Kimco RPG. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Holy crap, I got this physical. This is the best thing ever. Only one cover, unlike all the other versions, but still an amazing game by Inti Creates. Atari Flashback Classics, all 150 games, all in one cart. Great, great, great port. Rocket Birds 1. Fun fact, this was actually Lucas Pope's, the guy who made Papers, Please, first game he ever did. He did not work on, though, the sequel, Rocket Birds 2 Evolution. Don't know why I had to read that other one so slow. Alone with You, another Benjamin Rivers game. Super great, super thick manual, very fun. Crazy fast sellout for the blind box. Not the blind box, for the long box collector's edition they did. All right, last 3 games, technically 4. Revenant Dogma, our final Kimco RPG. Number 100, as I'm trying to show it. No, it's not going to do it. Here we go. Super Mutant Alien Assault. PS4 release got canceled due to bug trophies, but we did get the Vita version, which is really, really crazy. And even though we did not end off at 100 games, I am glad we ended off with the best, which is Meta Slug 3, number 101, and a very controversial, was never meant to be shipped out, original cover, because guns. So yes, there are 2 covers of Meta Slug 3. This one was more widely available and printed. This one, I think, got less than 1,000 shipped out before the error was realized. So more of these, less of these, both of these. Awesome. Thank you guys for watching this video. I did not know that was going to be 30 minutes long, and I didn't even ever have a sip of my drink. Moral of the story, thank you guys for watching this with me. Thank you for following me on this journey of cutting my thumb, opening up 20 boxes, dying on the inside. Thank you if you helped me or reached out to me, bought a game off of me, actually sold me these 2 games, helped me finish up my collection. I cannot thank you all enough. And honestly, if for whatever reason some miracle happens and Limited Run Games is watching this, thank you for releasing all these games. I'm surrounded by over 100 games you put out physically. Like, the Vita market would not be the same without you. And I cannot stress this enough, how much I appreciate all the games that not only have been put out in the past by you, but are now continuing to be put out by other developers and publishers, whether it be digitally or physically. Really means a lot to me that my favorite system of all time is still getting this much love, even after, oh my god, like 8 years. So thank you if you watched this. Thank you if you even touched any of these games, whether you were someone who actually developed any of them, or if you just shipped me my copy. Thank you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like, subscribe to the channel. Would mean a lot. I'm trying to get to 500. Either way, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you later. Have a good night, guys.